Welcome back. Taking a full look at weather. Everyone in our area seems to be preparing. It seems like we need to be charging those portable chargers, getting ready for power outages possibly, and unfortunately the rest of what can come with this storm.
Well, yeah, now people have been asking me, what's different with this storm compared to the last couple we've had? Because we've had a couple storms. The last one on New Year's Eve caused a lot of flooding, and actually this storm will have less rain with it. It's going to come down pretty heavy and pretty quickly, though, so that may overwhelm things, but you have to also understand that a lot of that rain we've had over the last couple of weeks is still in the soil, still in the ground, still pooled up in creeks and streams, so there's less room to put all of this new rain we're adding. On top of that, the winds with this system will be a lot stronger than some of the recent systems. And we had widespread power outages on New Year's Eve because of the wind knocking down trees and saturated soils. The winds will be stronger with this system, which is why I think we'll have a lot bigger problems, I think, over the next couple of days. So let's break it down for you. Live look from Domenico's. Pretty calm out there tonight. We haven't really seen anything kick in just yet. Clouds have been on the increase. There are a few radar echoes out there, but no rain is falling across the region just yet. And we're going to see this moisten up slowly here over the next few hours, with the southerly flow slowly beginning to kick in ahead of this strong and potent storm system, which is really strengthening still offshore. This whole area of clouds right here, part of what's called a warm front portion of this system, which is right here, and then you've got your low right here, and then of course the cold front, which is basically being pushed by all of this cold air drawn around the low. We see the cold air with the speckled nature of the clouds behind it. That's really indicating that that's some very cold air. That cold air kind of acts as a shovel because it's more dense than the warm air around it. So as it's drug around this low pressure system, it just pushes the air up ahead of it as it pushes forward. And that's what's going to be coming through tomorrow night, the cold front. In the meantime, we're going to be dealing with this warm frontal rains overnight tonight. It's all part of a big atmospheric river, which we can trace all the way back across the Pacific. It has some origins in the Hawaiian Islands as well, so we could kind of call it a pineapple express, which is a term I'm sure many of you are familiar with. But more potentially later on in the week, we are in an El Nino style weather pattern, but we are in La Nina. That's why we can never say with any good certainty that just because you're in El Nino, you're going to see a lot of rain, or just because you're in La Nina, it's going to stay dry, because this is an El Nino style pattern. We did this a couple years ago too. 2017, we were in La Nina and we had an El Nino style pattern set up, and we had a lot of problems with that. This is Monday, another storm coming in, and then later on next week, we're just going to keep playing this. We can see additional storms continuing to come in. So just after we make it through this system, we'll have more to come. So please stay prepared for everything, and I want you to let your guard down. Let's take a look at what's going on, though. The radar picture, pretty quiet tonight. What we'll expect to see is rain starting to spread from south to north across the region late tonight, and then kind of culminate with some heavy rainfall as we head into tomorrow evening. And I'm going to take you through that timing-wise in just a moment, but I want to show you with this system, I mean, we see rainfall totals 1 or 2 inches for cities around the bay, 3 to 6 inches in the coastal mountains. That's not extreme, but as I mentioned, our streams are high, our ground is wet, there isn't a lot of room to put this water. And plus, there's going to be a period tomorrow evening where it all comes down pretty quickly and pretty fast. And that's going to overwhelm a lot of our drainage systems. And that's why we do expect to see quite a few flooding issues across the region. So let's get into the timing of everything. Of course, the warm front comes through overnight. Light to moderate rain, probably not too big of a deal. Might see some small rises on streams, might see some ponding on the roadways. Not a major issue. You head out the door tomorrow morning, wet roads, winds starting to pick up a little bit. And I'm going to get a little more in detail about the winds a little bit later. But you know, 10 a.m., not much going on tomorrow except southerly gusty winds. 1 p.m., not much going on tomorrow. You're going to be looking at your watch, looking at your app and the radar, and be like, okay, I thought we were supposed to have a storm today. Should I go out and start taking my Christmas decorations down? Well, you should have taken them down already today. But either way, it's tomorrow evening when this cold front is going to arrive, and we'll see it start to come into the region. This is 4 p.m. on Futurecast. Again, it could be varied a few hours here or there. But generally speaking, late tomorrow afternoon into the early evening, this cold front comes through. That's when we'll see the strongest winds and heaviest rain. And most areas are going to get a couple hours of heavy rain as it passes from west to east across the viewing area. It will really target our coastal mountains. That's when we're going to see those high rainfall rates, probably 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch of rain an hour, which is a lot of rain. And then some areas will be rain shadowed, like the Salinas Valley and Hollister. You won't quite see the intensity that other areas do. But again, this is all going to come down pretty quickly tomorrow night and then slowly kind of fade to the east. But behind it, we'll continue to see rounds of showers into Thursday, which could have thunderstorms, could have heavy rain associated with those as well. It'll be a smaller scale impact with each of those cells, but it will keep the threat alive, unfortunately, into Thursday. So we're going through a longer period of time here. Now let's talk about the wind. At the moment, current wind speed is pretty light out of the south. We'll see the wind slowly ramp up as we head through the overnight hours here. Over the next couple of hours, we'll start to see some higher wind speeds. On the map here, once you start getting into these orange-red colors, we're talking 40, 50 miles per hour. So notice we start to see that out over the water at 3 a.m., out over the peaks. Most cities looking at 10, 20, 30 miles per hour. So we head toward dawn, we'll start to get some gusty winds funneling down our valleys, places like Salinas, Prunedale, Watsonville, Hollister, the Salinas Valley. You'll start to get gusty winds early tomorrow morning. Some areas may not get any wind at all early in the morning, like maybe in Seaside and Monterey, because of the mountains to your south. You don't see a lot of those winds necessarily. But later on in the day, the winds will really pick up along the coast as that front approaches, and we're talking some very strong wind gusts. As I mentioned, the highest area of concern to me is going to be that Point Sur to Monterey Peninsula corridor, Highway 1, Carmel Highlands, Carmel, Pebble Beach. These areas, we're going to see some wind gusts in the 50 to 60 mile per hour range tomorrow. That's going to displace some trees. Also, some of the ridges in Santa Cruz County, and in an isolated sense elsewhere across the region, we'll continue to see those higher wind speeds. Now, as we head into the evening, once that cold front passes, the winds will still be there, but they'll start to wind down a little bit. So again, early evening, I think, will be the strongest winds along with the heaviest rain, and that's going to be the bad zone. That's when the worst of everything is going to be passing through the region. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on things. If you had to choose any time tomorrow to spend indoors and staying safe, late tomorrow, afternoon, early to mid-evening, please stay indoors. Don't be traveling. Quick look at that 7-day forecast. So still cloudy on Thursday. Chance of showers and thunderstorms. Friday, okay, not so bad. A few isolated showers, but another system late Saturday into Sunday and another system Monday into Tuesday. All could have potentially some heavy rain with them as well, which would, of course, exacerbate any current flooding threats. Inland areas, the same thing. We're watching for more rain coming, but of course, we have to get through this first system first, and it is going to be on the strong side. Veronica?
Well, I was just going to ask you, you talked about the hours of suggestion to stay home. That's also rush hour time, isn't it? Like commute,
Right. The evening commute tomorrow, is going to be a mess across the region, especially later on. The winds are already going to be strong, but then the heaviest rains will start to hit. It's going to be kind of touch and go with when that heaviest rain starts. Or maybe you were hoping it starts a little bit later, but also one other thing to keep in mind I didn't mention, a lot of these flooding concerns may happen after dark, which makes them even more dangerous.
Right.